Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Ben Caplan Show, my brand new Philly sports talk show that I do every weekday right here on TikTok, and where I upload all my old episodes to YouTube. So I appreciate you joining me wherever you are watching me. I feel like I don't want to say more of the same. I don't want to say deja vu, but we're still talking Eagles. We're smack dab, in a downward spiral that we cannot seem to get out of even a little bit. So we might as well just vent all of our frustration about this Philadelphia Eagles team, who we had such high expectations. We had such high hopes for this Eagles team a month ago. But man, since that 49ers game, it has been all downhill. And there seems to be no escape. And so super positive show tonight, because I'm going to be just venting more frustrations about the Eagles. If you want to vent more frustrations about the Eagles, or there's any thoughts and comments, please leave something in the chat. I will answer any questions that you guys got at me. Woo! Appreciate everyone hopping in. I appreciate all of you. I just started doing these lives a couple weeks ago, and I really like them. I think I'm going to get a little bit better every day. Every day here at the Ben Caplan Show, we strive to get a little bit better. So give us some time. We are going to be one of the biggest sports talk shows Philadelphia has ever seen, and you're along for the journey, so I appreciate it. But anyway, talking Eagles, you can always talk different things about the Eagles. What I wanted to mention first, though, did anybody see the video of the Eagles Pro Bowl players getting announced by Nick Sirianni? If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's hilarious. Not one single Pro Bowler seems to be happy that they made the Pro Bowl. Everybody's just pissed off on their face. Yeah, Gabe in the chat says, yeah, they were angry. They were very angry. Nobody seemed to care that they made the Pro Bowl. And I feel like the response from most Eagles fans has been like, good. That should be your response. You shouldn't be happy right now. You're playing like crap. So what's there to smile about? I guess you can smile a little bit. You made the Pro Bowl. That counts as some sort of accomplishment, right? But I mean, they were angry. Wait, I think I got the video. Let's see. They were pissed. Oh, that's not the video. But anyway, the 6 Pro Bowlers: Lane Johnson, AJ Brown, Landon Dickerson, Hassan Reddick, Jason Kelsey, and DeAndre Swift. So congrats to them. But yeah, does anybody care? Nobody cares. This Eagles team is such a mess right now that who cares who made the Pro Bowl? And the Eagles have actually 9 alternates. Jalen Hurts being named an alternate. Whatever. Like, really, does anybody care? So the players had the same exact attitude as all of us. Like, who cares? Got a question from Ant. Is AJ talking to Nick? Yeah, AJ Brown and Nick Sirianni are talking. AJ Brown has been singing the praises of the coaching staff the past couple days. So all good there. But again, it is great. Does that mean they're going to play better? Who knows? Who knows? Are they just giving us lip service? Who knows? Dave, happy Thursday, Ben. Happy Thursday, Dave. Happy Thursday, everybody who's joining in tonight for the Ben Caplan Show. I appreciate you hopping in and watching me on live. If you have any questions, comments, please leave me it in the chat. Talking about the Eagles. Hold on. I want to see if I can find that video. Here we go. This is the video. Not sure if anybody.
15 Pro Max on us and so much more. Premier unlimited plans packed with business benefits.
I don't want to have you play an ad, but I think here's the video from Sports Illustrated. If their stupid ad would stop running. So I'm going to hide this right now, because we don't do ads on this show, not unless somebody pays me directly. But anyway, waiting for this ad to be over. Here we go. Here it is.
Sirianni shared the news of the 6 players who made the roster, and noticeably absent was any reaction.
Look at
now,
those
this may
smiles.
say something about the status of the event, but Philly fans could spin it.
Nick Sirianni's trying to hype up the team, and nobody is into it.
Coach Nick Sirianni shared the news of the 6 players who made the roster, and noticeably absent was any reaction. Now, this may say something about the status of the event, but Philly fans could spin it into a display of renewed focus from the Birds.
Yo, question for everybody. That's actually the first time I ever tried to play a video through one of these lives. Can somebody let me know if the sound was on for that and if you could hear that? That would be greatly appreciated.
Simplify your
But yeah,
business accounting with QuickBooks.
nobody looked happy at all being announced as Pro Bowlers. And yes, clear sound. Gabe, thank you. Really appreciate that. All right, I'm going to do more of that then going forward. That is good to know. But yeah, nobody seemed to care. That's how bad things are. Usually, like, people are clapping and cheering and congratulating you, and like the players are like feeling themselves when you get named to the Pro Bowl. But these guys are like, nah, we stink right now. We have nothing to be happy about. Why should we be happy? And I, for one, appreciate that attitude. So it at least shows me that the players on the Eagles understand the severity of what's going on right now. That there are so many issues that need to be fixed. I'm going to turn this off. So yeah, at least the response was good, but hopefully will that make them play better? Who the hell knows? Hopefully. Nick says, "Hey man, I'm a huge Eagles fan, and honestly, I can't defend us, man. I just don't know anymore." Nick, nobody can defend the Eagles. Nobody knows. I mean, everyone seems to say that it's over for the Eagles. Will the Eagles prove them all wrong? I don't think so. I mean, it seems to be getting worse every single week. Like every week, it just gets a little bit worse, and it's a little more problematic. And there's one more hole that needs to be fixed. So, and Eagles had Avonte Maddox back last week. Now I don't know how many plays he played, but it made zero difference at all that Avonte Maddox was on the field. So, man, there's you can't defend anything, Gabe. Yeah, the Eagles can't defend the Eagles, nor can they defend anyone else. No, the Eagles cannot defend anyone else. That's why they lost to the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals didn't have to punt against the Eagles. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? The 49ers didn't have to punt against the Eagles, but they have a powerhouse offense. The Cardinals have a bottom third offense, and they didn't have to punt one time. Their one bad play was a mistake by Kyler Murray. He was trying to audible. I forget the wide receiver, but he was trying to audible to him. Wide receiver missed it and ran the wrong route. But man, sorry, didn't mean to bring that up again. Let's see. David says, "Forget the Eagles. Let's talk about the Flyers." Hey, I'll talk about the Flyers, David. What do you want to, what exactly about the Flyers do you want to talk about? We can always talk Flyers here. As everybody knows, I am officially on the Flyers bandwagon for this season. I've already been to a game, so let's go Flyers. I'm all flyered up. I know they've kind of lost. They've been losing lately. They fell out of second place in the Metropolitan. I think they're tied for third or fourth right now. So hopefully they can get back their winning ways while they're out on the West Coast. Dave, I do. Dave asked, "Odd question. My wife wants to know if you have a sis named Sarah." No, Dave, I do not have a sister or a cousin or anybody. I'm not related to anybody named Sarah. So sorry. Nick says, "The Cardinals game really just proved what kind of team they really have been." Yeah, just a bad team, just a really bad team. And they were winning the close games early on in the season, but man, they've lost the ability to finish. They've lost the ability to gain separation, to put teams away. The Eagles were up 21-6 on the Arizona Cardinals. You should win that game. When you're up 21-6 on anybody going into halftime, you should win that game. And the Eagles, man, they just blew it. David says, "It was a joke. I'm upset about the Eagles." Oh, gotcha. Brock, what do you need to see this week to believe again? Brock, I don't think there's anything I could see that's really going to get me to believe again. I mean, I think Jalen Hurts would just have to throw for like 350, like 4 touchdowns, and the Eagles would have to blow the Giants out by like 3 or 4 touchdowns. They would just need some gigantic win, which I don't know if they're capable of doing. Like I said yesterday, I'd be shocked if Devontae Smith plays. The Eagles said he has a minor ankle sprain, but why risk it? You're already locked into that 5 seed. You can't say the game on Sunday doesn't matter, but the Cowboys are probably going to beat the Commanders. There's a really good chance that they're going to beat the Commanders. Not only are the Cowboys trying to win the NFC East, the Commanders, if they lose, they guarantee themselves the second pick in the draft. So I'm not saying the players aren't going to be trying hard, but maybe their starters don't play very long. Maybe ownership doesn't really care if they win this game. They'd rather the draft pick. So, something colossal would have to happen for the Cowboys to lose that game. I mean, Ron Rivera, I feel like he's going to be fired after the season. Maybe he's coaching for his job, but regardless of if the Commanders win that game or not, I think Ron Rivera is going to be fired. Or at least I don't see why they would keep him on. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything other than just a complete blowout that could make me believe again, but I don't even know if that's the case. I don't know if they're going to do that. Nick, we have so many good players that we don't even use. Just give the ball to Hurts instead. Well, that's the problem. They're running the ball with Hurts too many times. These QB sneaks, I'm so sick of them. I know I'm not the only one. I know I sound like a broken record, but my skin crawls every time they run with Jalen Hurts, and I hold my breath. Like one of these times, he's gonna get a hit he can't get up from, or it's gonna be bad. And I just hold my breath every time he runs the ball. Rock, I have a ticket to the Birds Giants, but don't want to deal with Giants fans if we lose. Yeah, that's no fun. Dealing with New Yorkers anytime is no fun. I was at the Eagles Jets game at MetLife. I had the pleasure of being at that game, and so even Jets fans are giving it to you after a loss. So yeah, it's no fun going to a loss at MetLife Stadium. But hey, it's the last game of the season. Who cares? You'll go, you'll tailgate, you have fun. The game really doesn't matter. If you watch this game like from the lens of this game doesn't really matter, I have lost faith in this team. You might be able to enjoy the game. If you go into this game thinking like, oh my God, the Eagles have to win, they have to beat the Giants, I need to see all these things to be happy, for the Giants to make me believe again. Well, you might be disappointed when you watch that game. But just go in with the attitude of if they lose, they lose. It doesn't matter. They're playing. We get at least one playoff game, at least one. Let's see. Rocco, you were at Eagles Jets too. I am sorry. That game sucked, didn't it? Oh man, it was awful being at that game. So was Nick. Oh man, you're with my cousin who's a diehard Jets fan. Well, I feel sorry for him. But at the same time, Nick was at the game with his diehard Jets fan cousin. I'm willing to bet he's probably a Mets fan also. So then I don't really feel bad for him because I feel like most Jets fans are Mets fans. So at that, I really don't feel bad for them because I hate the Mets. Get Help Dad podcast. Ooh, hey, what's up, Get Help Dad podcast? What's better option? Second seed versus fifth seed, playoff wise. Also, hi from Alaska. Hi from Philadelphia. Obviously, you want the second seed because you want to play at home in the playoffs. I mean, home field advantage is everything in the NFL playoffs. So, in the second seed too, you can guarantee yourself 2 home playoff games in the wild card round and the divisional round, and then maybe in the NFC Championship, depending on what happens to the 1 seed. But so the 2 seed is very valuable. It's like going from 3 to 4 it doesn't really matter as much in the NFL for playoff seedings wise. But going from 2 to 3 in playoff seeding in the NFL, that's a big deal because if you're 2 and you win that first game, you get another home game, and home games are everything. Get Help Dad podcast. Please send Wawa. What do you want from Wawa? Get Help Dad podcast. Triple Risky. Some season ticket holders might be okay with not paying for that playoff ticket. Well, I'm willing to bet they already had to pay for that playoff ticket. And either way, the way season tickets work, no matter the sport, if your team might make the playoffs, you already have to pay for your playoff tickets early. And if the team doesn't make the playoffs, then they just put whatever you paid towards your total for the following season. So they're getting your money either way. How will they do that? You want a classic hoagie? You got it. Get Help Dad podcast. Send me your address. Send me a DM of your address, and I'll ship you a hoagie from Wawa. You want any chips or like a tasty cake or anything while I'm at it? Well, let me know. Think about it. TC, what are the biggest upsets of this week? TC, I don't know. Probably the Giants beating the Eagles. I've been so focused on the Eagles and just this downward tailspin that they've been in. I've really paid no attention to the rest of the NFL. Let's look at the NFL schedule, though. NFL schedule. All right. So who do we got? We got Steelers at the Ravens. Texans at the Colts, Jaguars at the Titans, Vikings at the Lions, Falcons, Saints. I don't know. There could be lots of upsets. 49ers might have to watch themselves against the Rams. The Rams always seem to give the 49ers problem and vice versa. And let's see. Let's look at the NFL playoff scenarios. Playoff picture. Who's still fighting for a playoff? Who's still fighting for a playoff spot? All right. So there's only 2 spots available in the NFC, and that's for the Bucks and the last spot. And the Packers, if the Packers win, they're in, I believe. If they lose and the Seahawks win, then I think the Seahawks get in. But looks like the Packers have a good chance to sew that up. The Buccaneers beat the Panthers. They clinched the NFC South. So it looks like it's going to be Eagles at Tampa, which, hey, the Eagles already beat Tampa this year, but does anybody really believe in the Eagles right now? I don't. I will go on record saying they don't believe. So if the Eagles win the Super Bowl and they give that speech of nobody believed in us, I will raise my hand and I'll be like, yes, I did not believe in you. I was wrong. But until that happens, I'm not believing in this team. I got Chargers, Rams. TC's got Chargers, Rams, Texans winning. You got the Texans winning? Who are they playing again? Why am I not seeing the Texans game? Why am I not seeing the Texans game? Oh, they're playing the Colts. Duh, that was like the second one. Could happen. I don't know. Is CJ Stroud playing? Triple Whiskey. Even though I'm a Dallas fan, love the way you present content. Wife's an Eagles fan. I'm in Delaware. All right, Triple Whiskey. My parents, well, my mom used to live in Delaware. So there we go. Hey from Delaware. Hey from Philly. Appreciate everyone who is watching this live stream. This is the Ben Caplan Show. I do these every weekday. I also upload episodes to YouTube. So I'd suggest follow me here on TikTok and please click that link in my bio and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow out a YouTube channel. I have no idea how to do it. So I'm at like 9 subscribers. If I can get to 10 by today, I'd be over the moon. So please help me out there. But anyway, we're talking Eagles. Might as well keep venting our frustration. There's only, there's 1 week in the regular season left. It's asked earlier if anybody saw that clip of the Pro Bowlers, the Eagles Pro Bowlers getting announced by Nick Sirianni. Nobody seemed to be happy. So classic Philadelphia video. Let's see. TC, I could also see the Eagles losing. I could see the Eagles losing to Tampa next week or this week, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, it's at this point, I'm not surprised anymore if the Eagles lose. Nick Sirianni was asked about if he's going to rest any starters. He said it was under consideration, whatever that means. I don't know. He's going to be thinking about it. He said it came up in conversation. I don't think he's going to be sitting starters to begin with, other than Devontae Smith. I'd be shocked if Devontae Smith plays on Sunday. He's already on a bum ankle. That turf at MetLife Field is dangerous. People always go down there. Players vote that MetLife Stadium the worst stadium in the NFL to play in every single year. And I think it's definitely because of the turf. There's probably other reasons, but the main reason is the turf and how dangerous it is. People get injured on that playing surface all the time. So they don't want him injuring that. Everyone else, I think, would probably start. Now the Eagles, I would assume, are going to have somebody keeping an eye on the Dallas Washington score, and if that game gets out of hand quick and Dallas goes up by a lot, and it looks like there's no way the Commanders could come back, then he might start sitting some people, because at that point the game doesn't matter. If the Cowboys win, the Eagles game doesn't matter. The Eagles really shot themselves in the foot time and time again, had every opportunity to control their own destiny, but now their fate is in the hands of the Dallas Cowboys, and that doesn't feel good. Triple Risky, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Congrats on 10. Yes! Thank you. 10 might not seem like a big number to a lot of people, but I am brand new on YouTube, and I have no idea what I'm doing over there, so that is actually huge for me. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Anybody else wants to be like Triple Risky, please go over and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Oh, man. Woo! I also want to try something too. Let's see how people feel how I feel. All right, I am gonna do it for the first time ever. I just figured out how to do poll questions on this thing. So I'm just gonna ask a simple question: will the Eagles beat the Giants on Sunday? Yes or no? That's it. Do you think the Eagles will beat the Giants on Sunday? Yes or no? Let's do it for 5 minutes. First time. Let's see. Will the Eagles beat the Giants on Sunday? And go. All right. So we got a poll going. Will the Eagles beat the Giants on Sunday? Let me know. Click yes or no. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost. Would you be surprised if the Eagles lost to the Giants? I don't think so. Um, Cowboys going to lose. So TC says Cowboys are going to lose. I'd be shocked if the Cowboys lost that game, because not only are they going for the NFC East, so you know they're going to be fired up. The Commanders already stink, but are they really, like, if they lose, they secure the second pick in the draft, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know if as an organization that team is very motivated to win. Now, Ron Rivera might be the wild card because I don't think he's going to care. I think he gets fired no matter what happens, but he might want to give an FU to management on the way out by trying to win a game. I would be shocked if the Cowboys lose that game, but I love the positivity coming from UTC. Triple Risky, want to do a show myself, so I get it. Yeah, Triple Risky. If you get a show, if you start a YouTube channel, I will absolutely subscribe to your channel. It is hard to find me over the artist Ben Caplan. It is unfortunate, but hey, you know what? This show right now, it's the little rocket ship, but we're taking it all the way to the moon. Before you know it, you're going to Google Ben Caplan. I will be the first thing that comes up on Google, YouTube, any search engine. Just give it time, I promise. Hey, Supernova coming in. Love your debate about Nick getting fired or not. Thank you. Do you think he should be fired? I don't. I mean, I thought the reason I brought it up is because I actually thought it was like a ridiculous question and a ridiculous premise. Like, it's such a knee-jerk NFL reaction to want to fire the coach, after losing 4 or 5. Don't get me wrong, it's not great. I don't like it. I don't think anybody likes it, but I'm not going to fire the guy. This will be the 3rd year in a row he's made to the postseason. He's earned the right to get himself out of this tailspin and come back next year with a new coaching staff and a new roster, and try again at this thing. Appreciate you, Supernova. Go Barnstormers. TC, what's crazy, the Week 18 Texan Colts match last year too, and it changed so much this year. Supernova says, save the coach, fire the coordinators. Yeah, absolutely. Brian Johnson, got to go. I mean, there's no way Sean Desai's coming back, but Matt Patricia is not going to be the defensive coordinator either. Complete overhaul. That's my vote. Complete overhaul of the coaching staff. But Sirianni stays. He's not going anywhere. If the Texans didn't win last year, they wouldn't have got CJ Stroud this year. True. Both wouldn't be playing for a playoff spot. Brock says, can't fire Nick after one bad month. Brian Johnson's got to go. Yeah, I agree. There's no way you can fire Nick Sirianni. It's one bad month. Yeah, it's 4 out of 5 is really bad. I get it. But it's the NFL. Losing streaks happen. Now, look, if something like this happens again next year, then I'm more open to the conversation of let's fire Nick Sirianni and get him out of here. If he just keeps, if he keeps starting 10-1 and then continues to lose 4 out of 5 every year. But we'll see what happens next year. But he'll definitely deserves to be back. Triple Risky, most coaches shouldn't be fired after one losing season, let alone a winning one. Yeah, that's the crazy thing too. Like, worst case scenario, the Eagles go 11-6 and you make the playoffs. Like, that's worst case scenario. So it's kind of hard to fire a coach after a season like that when you look at the whole picture, especially coming off of a Super Bowl year, because it is so incredibly hard to go back to the Super Bowl the year after you went. Yeah, I think it's only happened 14% of the time. No, 14% of the time, 8 times total in the history of the NFL that the Super Bowl loser has gone back the following season. How is this poll doing? Anybody vote in this poll? So we got 2 votes. We only have 2 votes in this poll. Will the Eagles beat the Giants on Sunday? Both or no? Great. Love the enthusiasm, everybody. Please join. Please vote as well. There we go. We got 1 for yes, finally. Will the Eagles win on Sunday? Yes or no? We got 40 seconds left in this poll. I don't know. I honestly don't know yet. I'm going to make up my mind tomorrow when I do the show, in the spirit of Mike Missinelli. If anybody's my age, remember listening to Mike Missinelli, he would always wait till Friday to give his official pick. So I'm waiting till Friday. Supernova was so afraid AJ Brown would go all Antonio Brown or Terrell Owens on us. Hashtag I stand with AJ. Yeah, you always worry about a wide receiver yelling at coaches, getting into fights, not talking to anybody. being like, but Terrell Owens and Antonio Brown, I think, are two extreme cases. I think AJ Brown, wouldn't go that nuclear like Antonio Brown or Terrell Owens. But they're all good. They say they're all good, but that's great that they say they're all good. I personally don't care. I don't care if AJ Brown is cool with Nick Sirianni, if they're talking, if he's got his back. I just care that they play well. So if this helps them play better, then I'm for getting into is AJ Brown okay with Nick Sirianni talk? But are they going to play better? Because that's all that really matters. Michael says, and it's just as hard to make the playoffs after losing the Super Bowl. Actually, Michael, funny you say that. It's not as rare as you think. Because I was looking into that, how many teams make the playoffs after losing the Super Bowl, and the percentage is actually pretty high. Let me pull it up real quick. How many teams lose? All right. Playoffs. I am going to find it. It's like a high percentage losing the Super Bowl. Here we go. This is from NBC Sports Chicago. Let me pull that up. How do NFL teams fare in a season following a loss? This was posted in January of this year, so I guess we could include the Eagles in this. Which Super Bowl? Oh, I know it says it in here somewhere. Super Bowl loser. I got an idea. I gotta wait. Okay, because it says out of the first 56 Super Bowl losers, 39 came back. But I just want to see where exactly in the article it says that, so you can all see it, so you don't think I'm lying to you, because we show our work here. There we go. So if you can see it, out of the first 56 Super Bowl losers, 39 came back to make the playoffs the next season. So that's a 69.6 playoff percentage rate. So I used to think like teams rarely ever made the playoffs after losing the Super Bowl, but it happens more often than you think. So there you go. The more you know. We learned something fun today. Problem is most teams don't change enough after a Super Bowl appearance. That was said in the comments. Well, I feel like the Eagles are kind of the opposite of that, because the Eagles roster is very different, especially on defense, from this year to last year. They lost TJ Edwards. They lost CJ GJ. I probably said that wrong. They lost who went to the 49ers? They lost a few guys. I can't think of everybody off the top of my head right now. So the defense is way different. The offense is a little different. For the most part, all the major pieces are there. I mean, Hurts is still there. Brown is still there. Smith is still there. New running back with DeAndre Swift, but he's had a good season. He's rushed for over 1,000 yards. Dallas Goedert's still there. The defense is very different, though. And the Eagles had to pay Jalen, too. Remember, Eagles had to give Jalen Hurts a big contract. He's making $51 million this year. So, so you're working with cap issues, losing players. You can't bring everybody back. And the NFL, I feel like, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the NFL has the most turnover from teams year over year. So it's getting to the playoffs every year. Going back to the Super Bowl is so incredibly hard. Let's see. Got some more comments here. You have to change every year or else you lose more. Looking at Kellen Moore. Yeah, Kellen Moore didn't change enough. That's true. Eagles are just the result of a bad hire right now. Triple Risky, what do you mean by the Eagles are just the result of a bad hire right now? Like bad free agent signings, do you think Howie Roseman needs to go? What do you mean by that? Thank you, everyone, by the way, everyone else who is popping off in the chat. This is the Ben Caplan Show. I do the show every day live here on TikTok, and I upload it to YouTube. So please follow me here on TikTok and make sure you click the link in my bio and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yeah, we lost Kaiser White to Arizona, Hargrave to San Francisco, both coordinators. So yeah, you get picked apart, especially when you go to the Super Bowl, whether you win it or lose it. There's a reason you got to the Super Bowl. You have a lot of good players and coaches, and people see that, and they want some of that. They want that rub, as they say in the pro wrestling industry, to So yeah. Anywho, what else do I want to talk about today? Oh yeah, so I saw this article by the Philly Voice today. Do I still have it up? I don't have it up. You can Google it, or you can search, whatever your favorite search engine is, use that. Basically, they were talking about 5 things the Eagles need to do to win or to build confidence in the rest of the season. I don't think there's anything the Eagles could do that would help me build confidence in this team. It is just, I don't know, unless maybe they beat the Giants by like 50 and Jalen Hurts threw for like 350, 400 yards. And, the defense had like 10 sacks and they just played this out of this world football game, which they're not capable of doing. So yeah, no, there's really nothing that's going to get me more excited or give me kind of hope. I was hoping that, they were going to use the game against Seattle, this game against Arizona, the first game against the Giants, the game against Arizona, now the second game against the Giants, as like a way to reinstill confidence in all of us after the San Francisco and Dallas games. But they've just really done the exact opposite, haven't they? They've just gotten worse and worse and worse. And every single week, you just lose a little more trust in this team. Like, I have no faith in this team. Let's see what happened in that poll. I took a poll. Well, I appreciate the 4 votes I had. But it was 50-50. Will the Eagles win? Will the Eagles beat the Giants on Sunday? I don't know. Let's do it again. Please, would appreciate you. Vote in the polls are open for the next 5 minutes. Will the Eagles beat the Giants on Sunday? Yes or no? Let me know. We'll go over the results in a little bit. But it's not I wouldn't be surprised at this point if the Eagles did lose to the Giants. I'd be more confident. We got a comment. I'd be more confident if they worked on their short passing game. Quick, easy throws for Jalen. I agree. I feel like, I don't know if it's a Jalen thing, or if it's a play calling thing, but you see like Jalen Hurts always running around and trying to direct traffic and going for these long passes and, going for that home run pass, so to speak. And it's not happening. And you'd like to see him just take like a 3-step drop and get the ball out of his hands. And that's the ironic thing is, that's how teams are beating the Eagles. They are getting the ball out of their hands quickly. 1, 2, 3, balls out. 1, 2, 3, balls out. Like they balls out. But the announcer on Sunday, they were talking about that all game long. How teams are beating the Eagles by just getting the ball out of the quarterback's hand as quickly as possible. And you would think the Eagles would be able to pick up on something like that, but they haven't been able to. And it's been frustrating, unless it's a wide receiver screen. Boy, oh boy, does Brian Johnson love calling wide receiver screens. Triple risky last year. They gave short passes to let players make defenders miss. Yeah, and that maybe Jalen was just going for the check down more. I don't know what it is exactly. It might be a combination of Jalen trying to be a hero, trying to do too much, poor play calling. Defenses playing better, having better coverage schemes against the Eagles. It's probably a mix of it all. But just take you would like to see him do a better job of taking the check down and living to fight another day, rather than trying for a home run and throwing an interception. It's we can all see it's frustrating. But anyway, the 5 things the Eagles need to do was win in the run game, which you can't let a team run for 200 plus yards against you and expect to win a football game. That's not good. Mostly, like, the article made a point in saying that I think it was like the first 9-10 weeks of the season, the Eagles dominated the run game, and they started off 9-1, 10-1. Actually, let me see if I can pull that up again. News. Thought I had it up, but I did not. Let's try this. There we go. 5 things the Eagles need to do. Boom. There we go. All right. First was win the run game. It shows this little nifty chart right here, and if you look, the first 9 weeks of the season, they were plus in the run differential, and they started off 10-1, and since then they've been minus in the run differential, and they've lost 4 or 5. So that's the point I was making. So if you can win in the run, if you can put up more rushing yards than the other team, the Giants, you got a good chance of winning the game. All right, great. But again, if the Eagles put up more rushing yards against the Giants, is that really going to change how I feel? I don't know. What else? So that was number 1. Number 2, get A.J. Brown feeling good again. Obviously, we want A.J. Brown feeling good. You want to get him involved in the game early, gets him some easy passes, not wide receiver screens, but something out maybe over the middle, like something short that he can catch and run. Get him involved. Make A.J. Brown happy. I totally understand that. I think we can all agree with that. I think for a lot of us who lived through Terrell Owens, there's still some PTSD of that entire saga and how just insane and wacky that entire offseason was, all the way through training camp, and even through the season, up until T.O. eventually was suspended indefinitely by Andy Reid for conduct detrimental to the team. But it was wackadoo. It was wackadoo. Like you could probably start the timeline from Terrell Owens when he broke his ankle in that game against Dallas. That was the start of the horse collar penalty because I can't think of the Cowboys player's name, but that was actually the second time he injured a player that season making that type of tackle. So the NFL outlawed that kind of tackle the next season, made it a 15-yard penalty. He breaks his ankle, comes back in like 8 weeks in time for the Super Bowl. No, the Eagles don't win the Super Bowl, but he had like 8 catches, over 100 yards receiving. He had a crazy good game in the Super Bowl. Our poll is finished. It's still 50-50. Nobody is sure we're still not sure if the Eagles can beat the Giants on Sunday. You're instilling a lot of confidence in me, everybody. But anyway, he plays on a broken leg, but then he decides he wants a new contract in the offseason. And his agent is Howie Roseman. If there's one thing Howie Roseman is going to do, it is fight for his clients. So the nonsense began, the talking began, and Terrell Owens got so pissed off because Donovan McNabb wasn't coming to bat for him. And then, like T.O., he came to training camp wearing camo, like in army fatigues, if everybody remembers that. Then he just was a nuisance. Not a nuisance, but he was breaking rules during training camp, so they suspended him. They sent him home. He's doing shirtless sit-ups on the driveway. He gets pizzas delivered for the reporters who are covering him. It was crazy. What a wild time to be a Philadelphia sports fan. But I think I've gotten off track here a little bit. I was supposed to be talking about A.J. Brown and making him happy, and how basically us in Philadelphia, we all still have PTSD from the Terrell Owens saga of 2005. But anyway, number 3, get healthy. Yeah, how do you get healthy, though? You don't play your starters. You don't play Devontae Smith. I'd be shocked if Devontae Smith plays in this game on Sunday. Playing on that turf at MetLife, someone always seems to go down when playing at MetLife Stadium. He's already got a bum ankle. The Eagles are calling it a mild ankle sprain, but you don't want him testing that ankle out there. So yeah, number 4. Hold on one sec. Never mind, thought I had a sneeze. Going through the 5 things the Eagles need to do in their regular season finale. This was an article written by the Philly Voice. Number 1 was win the run game. Number 2, get A.J. Brown feeling good again. Number 3, get healthy. Number 4, wake up the pass rush. The article goes on to point out how the Giants' offensive line is the left guard Justin Pugh is ranked 76 out of 79 for guards. Center John Michael Schmitz is 36 out of 36 for centers. Right guard Ben Bredson is 75th out of 79 for guards. And Matt Pearl's only played 66 snaps this season. But the article says, but the Giants thought so little of him that when their starting right tackle Evan Neal went down, they poached Terry Phillips off the Eagles practice squad and started him instead. So he's not very good. So the article's going on to say that the Giants' offensive line stinks. Eagles' pass rush should take advantage of that and get to the quarterback. But again, even if they do that, even if they sack him 10 times, like, they're so bad, it's not, you're going to be like, the attitude is going to be like, yeah, Eagles, you should be doing that. Man. And number 5, this one was a little weird, is call a normal game. In 2023, I don't know what a normal game looks like. I would just be happy if Brian Johnson could stop it with the damn wide receiver screens and QB sneaks. That's really at this point all I want to see. And try to evolve your playbook. Stop being so predictable. But first and foremost, start by stopping with the QB sneaks and wide receiver screens. I think we've all had enough of them. We've all seen our fair share of those plays. We're good. All right. We are good. Anyway, appreciate you joining me. This is the Ben Caplan Show. I'm doing the show daily, live here on TikTok. It's a small show right now, but we're going to be going to the moon. So make sure you click on that link in my bio and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. I'd really appreciate it. Comment says Nick needs to get more involved with play design next year. I don't know. I think that was the problem initially with Nick Sirianni. Like, he was calling the plays his first year, and he wasn't very good at it. And that was I remember that being a problem. So I don't know if Nick Sirianni calling the plays is necessarily the answer. I'd like to see another offensive coordinator calling the plays. I don't know if Nick Sirianni is what we want. Let me look something up about his play calling. It's really like, I don't know. I should have looked this up beforehand. But yeah, he was calling the plays his first season here, and it was not good. And that's why they had to bring in Shane Steichen? No, the other one, the other coordinator. But anyway, not play calling, but design. But okay, if he's not involved, if Nick Sirianni isn't involved in play design, then what is he doing? I'll be honest, I'm not exactly sure what a head coach does. I think what I want to do is on the New Heights podcast with Jason and Travis, in his No Dumb Questions, their No Dumb Questions segment, I'm going to ask, somebody else should ask, what if a coach isn't calling plays on game day, what is he doing? Because I don't know. Shouldn't the play calling, wouldn't that be one of the more important things, more important jobs? I'm sure he's doing something. I'm sure the head coach is doing a million things that we just don't understand because we're not in the business. We're not in the industry. But can somebody tell me? What are we talking about in the show? Yeah, sorry, Joe. We're talking about the Eagles overall. And, if there's anything right now, if there's anything they could do against this game of the Giants, that would really kind of give you some hope going into the playoffs. But for me, there's nothing. Enjoying life, Joe says, who you got, Michigan or Washington? Go blue. Go blue. I'm pulling for Michigan all the way. I've actually been to 2 Michigan games in my life. So, hey man, I like Michigan. Go blue. Jason Garrett used to clap a lot. I know head coaches do that. Yeah, they clap a lot. Nick Sirianni, like, chest bumps when things go well. He, like, pumps his fist. He's a big cheerleader. He's doing that. But, like, if you're not calling the plays, because he's not calling offense, he's not calling defense, what are you doing? Like, are you telling the offensive coordinator the type of play you want? Are you trying to, like, design a new scheme in game? Are you making adjustments? What are you doing? Somebody please tell me. Enjoying life, Joe. Michigan alumni here. Our secondary will decide if we win or lose. Go blue. That's all I got to say. Especially because probably the talk is that a Harbaugh is gone after this year, and he might be coming back. Jim Harbaugh might be coming back to the NFL. So we'll see about that. But probably, I'd be shocked if he comes to the NFL. I feel like the offensive coordinator, who's the offensive coordinator for Michigan, who coached while Harbaugh was out. Yeah, he got suspended for like 3 or 4 games, and they did just fine. And now they're in the national, and now Michigan's in the national championship game, so they're doing just all right. Hey, Scott, thanks for joining me. Thanks to everyone who has joined me tonight on this live. Going to be wrapping up things in just a little bit. I appreciate everyone who has joined. This is the Ben Caplan Show. I'm going to be saying that a lot, but I do lives every weekday here on TikTok, and then I upload the replays to YouTube. So make sure you follow me here, you subscribe there, you stay on top of all of my stuff. Just wrapped up going over the 5 things the Eagles need to do. It was an article written by the Philly Voice. I thought it was an interesting article, so I wanted to go over it. And I'll go over it again real quick. Did I stop sharing my screen? I don't know. No, I didn't. Okay, great. So the first was win the run game. This is probably the best point I think it made. It basically made the point for like the first 10 weeks, the Eagles were in the plus for the rushing yards differential. And the last 4 out of 5, they're in the minus. And is that a direct correlation with why they're losing? Maybe not direct, but it's probably part of the reason. So it's a good point. The point was, if you win the run game, in terms of rushing yards, you can win the game. So, but again, if you win the rushing battle against the Giants, is that going to instill confidence? Because the Giants are so bad, it doesn't matter. Like, even if the Eagles won, even if the Eagles somehow, the defense held on for that last series and then stopped the Cardinals and won the game by a field goal, none of us would still feel good about the Eagles. We'd all be like, yeah, but not going to happen. So I don't think anything could really change our minds. But hey, if you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. So get AJ Brown feeling good again. I agree. Get him involved early and often. He had like 2 passes in the second half. What is up with that? He had 2. Like, I don't understand the play calling, and I don't think it's all play calling. I'm sure there's coverages. I'm sure he's covered. Maybe there's times Hurts doesn't see him, so it's not going to go to him every time. But you got to do a better job of getting him the ball, getting him involved. He's such a playmaker, and especially this week, Devontae Smith is going to be out. It's not official by any stretch, but I would be shocked if Devontae Smith plays this week against the Giants. That turf at MetLife Stadium is awful. He's already on a bum ankle. They do not want him injuring it anymore. Players consistently rank that place the worst stadium in the NFL, and the turf is I don't know if it's the only reason why, but it's a major reason why it gets ranked so low by NFL players. Right. All right. So number 3 was get healthy. Again, even if they're healthy, doesn't matter. Like, the Eagles got Avonte Maddox back last week. It made no difference at all. I don't know how many snaps he played, but there's no difference. If Avonte Maddox didn't play, the same result would have happened. So, yeah. Anyway, the next was wake up the pass rush. The article goes on to say that it details how awful the Giants' offensive line is and how the Eagles should be able to take advantage of that. So I hope they're right. All their offensive linemen are ranked very low at their positions, so we will see. And then the last but not least is call a normal game, which I didn't quite get, because I don't even know what a normal game looks like in 2023. There hasn't been one game, I don't think, where we all haven't been. I don't know about that play calling. Like, at first I was like, all right, let's give Brian Johnson the benefit of the doubt. The play calling hasn't been great, but he's new, he's evolving. He'll get there. But we never got there. The play calling has remained terrible. It's gotten worse, if anything. It's gotten more predictable. So, yeah, I don't know what a normal game looks like. And I don't know if we're going to know what a normal game is in the rest of this year, because Brian Johnson is going to be calling the plays. It's probably going to be a lot of wide receiver screens and a lot of QB runs. That's for sure. See, if I know that, if some guy on TikTok can predict these plays, these basic plays over and over again, what does he think an actual NFL defense knows about their team? Like, a lot more. If I'm able to see that, so I don't know. I don't have. So even if it calls normal game and the Eagles win like 35-21 or something like that, am I going to be confident? Probably not. No, I think at this point it's too late. I've really lost all confidence. And, until they win the Super Bowl this year and someone gives a speech that says nobody believed in us, I will raise my hand. I will say, I didn't believe in you. But I'm waiting for that to happen, because I've got nothing to go on right now. Absolutely nothing. Hey, if you got something to believe in for these Eagles, though, let me know in the comments. Oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. But anyway, so wrapping up the 5 things the Eagles need to do in the regular season finale. It's an article written by the Philly Voice, so you can Google it. You can find it there. So go and check out that article if you want. Did anybody see the video of the Eagles getting announced to the Pro Bowl? It's pretty brutal. It's pretty brutal. Nobody seems happy. If you haven't seen this video yet, hold on. Let's see if it's bigger. All right. Here's a video of Nick Sirianni listing off the Pro Bowlers for the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay? Which is something usually is like a joyous occasion.
The guys that made the Pro Bowl: Jason, Hassan, DeAndre, AJ, Landon. Great job, guys. Alternates:
What a golf
Dallas,
club.
Sweaty,
What a golf
Jalen, Jordan, Cam. Also, Jalen, Slay, Britton, Jake. All right, great job. The guys that made the...
It's just like the look on their faces, like they don't care. They are just mad. They're upset. They couldn't give two craps about making the Pro Bowl right now. And the weird thing is, like, that's the attitude I think they should be having right now, because what is there to smile about if you're on this Eagles team? Comment says, they look like they just got picked to be line leaders in school. They don't look happy. That's for sure. Let's watch it again. Hold on. Just look at their faces and listen to the golf claps. Everyone's like, yeah, great. All right, cool. No one cares. There's nothing to be happy about right now.
Jason, Hassan, DeAndre, Lane, AJ, Landon. Great job, guys. Alternates. Dallas, Sweaty, Jalen, Jordan, Cam. Also, Jalen, Slay, Britton, Jake. All right, great job.
Not a lot to be happy about. And I think as Philadelphia Eagles fans, we can at least take solace in saying, hey, the Eagles understand the severity of the situation. They're not happy about it either. You can see it on their faces. So at least we know they care. But does that really matter if they care? Well, it only matters if they win. Really, because that's all we care about. We just want you to play better and win. I like that you're understanding. I like that we're seeing they know the situation that they're in. They're not making it like it's not a big deal or anything, like Brandon Graham was saying the other day. Oh boy. Did anybody else see that? Actually, before I go, did anybody else see Brandon Graham's post-game interview after directly after the Eagles lost to the Cardinals? If you saw it, let me know in the chat. Or if you didn't see it, let me know. But he's getting asked questions and he is just like, he's not smiling, but he's like, yeah, we're all good. Everything, we're not worried. I'm not worried, we just got to get the defense clicking again. We had a good chance, but we didn't capitalize. He was so like nonchalant about being asked if he's worried or not. Like it really, like it made me upset. Like I love Brandon Graham. We all love Brandon Graham. I don't know if there's really a more respected Philadelphia Eagle of all time. He's probably a top 5 for that category if you want to go off on that. But Brandon, come on, like, you understand, we're upset, right? Like you just be real with us. Don't like give us this fake, like, we're all good, this, fake positivity. Like I understand the power of positivity, but like read the room, it is not a good situation. It's okay to be like, yeah, I'm upset. There's a lot of things we need to work on. That's all he has to say. He's just got to say something like that. But anyway, I'm getting into that because I like seeing on the Eagles' faces how serious the situation is right now. They understand it. So hopefully, they're fingers crossed they're able to fix it. I really have no faith in this team, though. Even if they wouldn't beat the Giants, I don't have much faith in this team. I don't know about you. I did 2 polls tonight asking if the Eagles could beat the Giants. Let's do it one more time before I get out of here. Can the Eagles beat the Giants on Sunday? Or will the Eagles beat the Giants on Sunday? Yes or no? That's the question. Please vote. Please let me know what you think. If you think the Eagles can beat the Giants on Sunday, yes or no. All right. Appreciate everyone who hopped on. Childish Gambino. I like that name a lot. Appreciate it. J Squared says yes, the Eagles can beat the Giants. Let me know in the poll though. You didn't vote. Vote. Your vote matters. Do we think the Eagles can beat the Giants? Because I don't know yet. I'm making my official pick tomorrow for the game, but I don't know. It's like every week I just lose more faith in this team. Every single week that goes by. So, it's, and even like, again, like I've been saying all day, even if the Eagles win, if they beat the Giants, I don't even think they can go into Tampa, which they'll probably go and beat them. I have I know they beat them already. The Eagles beat the Buccaneers in Tampa earlier this year. So they already proved they can do it. But that team and where the Eagles were then at the very beginning of the season and where they are now, it seems like 2 completely separate teams at this point. And so I don't know, man. I don't know. I was trying to get people to give me confidence. So the no's are winning. The no's are winning in the poll right now, the third and final poll of will the Eagles beat the Giants on Sunday. So great. Still no confidence. And it just goes to show that everyone kind of feels how I feel. Like, we don't know. We don't think so. It's not surprising anymore when they lose. And I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to go into this Eagles game on Sunday with the attitude of this game doesn't really matter. So if they win, it's just a bonus, And so maybe I won't be so angry and frustrated watching this game. If I don't go in with high expectations, maybe I won't be disappointed. What a loser mentality that is. But part of the reason this year has been so frustrating is because of the high expectations we've all had on this team. All of us. We were all thinking another Super Bowl run. I mean, I certainly was. You might sit here now and say, no, you never thought that, but we all were thinking it. And we probably over-evaluated the talent on this team, and then some injuries happen, and then the play calling never really develops. It never really evolves. It stays stagnant and it stays predictable. And then you start losing games. And then Jalen Hurts, he becomes a turnover machine. So, hey, it hasn't really worked out the way we all hoped. And I think that's why it's been such a frustrating season, because we've all sat through worse Eagles seasons in our lives. I know I have. I've sat through many losing seasons as a Philadelphia Eagles fan, but they haven't been this frustrating. And so much of it has to do with the expectations we all put in this team. J Squared, you figured it out. All right, man. Thank you for voting. Thank you, everyone who's voting in my poll. There's still time left. We got 1:40. Will the Eagles beat the Giants on Sunday? Yes or no? Let me know in the poll. Right now, the no's are winning. The first 2 times I did this poll, it was a tie. So, but anyway, I don't think the coordinator. I don't have faith in the coordinators. I don't think either coordinator is going to be back here next year. I think Nick Sirianni will be. I thought it was a ridiculous question whether to fire Nick Sirianni or not. But I think there should be new offensive and defensive coordinators for next year. So, all right. So that is actually going to do it. The no's have it. With the poll, will the Eagles beat the Giants on Sunday? And the answer is no. Great. I have so much faith going into this game. But I actually got to get out of here now. I appreciate everyone who hopped in on this live. Don't forget, I do these lives every day on TikTok, the Ben Caplan Show. And then I upload the episode to my YouTube channel. So please follow me here. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for saying great job, Triple Risky. Great job for participating today. Thank you again, everyone who participated in the comment section. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.